Hey everybody, welcome to BrickVault. My name's Jack. Today is another LEGO weekly news update. Now this week, just like last week, was another gigantic set of reveals for a bunch of different themes. We got Star Wars, we got Batman stuff, there's more creator things, all of Ninjago, at least I think all of Ninjago, as well as Juniors and Elves and stuff. So let's get into it and let's start off with Star Wars. So with these Star Wars sets, I believe one of the most popular new ones is going to be the Y-Wing Starfighter 75172. It is a classic Y-Wing. We haven't gotten one of these in LEGOs for a while. And because it's from the Rogue One series, I was hoping it was going to be an earlier version of a Y-Wing that had armor. But I guess it's really not that much of a prequel to the original series, and it is just a classic looking Y-Wing. I think it's a great interpretation. Looking forward to both the minifigs and the model itself. And the next big reveal for the Star Wars sets was the Battle of Scarif, or Scarif. I don't know. 75171 is the set number. It looks like a decent bunker battle. As you can see, there's a couple of shore troopers against our main protagonists, and Jyn Erso is in the undercover garb of the Imperial trooper, or perhaps she's wearing the suit of one of those Death Star officers. I'm not sure. Either way, this looks like a great set. I think there's some destruction functions hidden away in there. And then let's be real, this is probably going to be the most anticipated set, the Imperial Trooper Battle Pack. We have not gotten a cheap way to just get some good old Stormtrooper minifigs for a while, and it comes with 2 Death Troopers. The Walker itself also looks pretty decent, I must admit, and at this point I'm not even going to complain about stud shooters. They're just going to be in every battle pack from here until the end of time, that is my guess. The other one is the Rebel Trooper Battle Pack. We get a couple of guys with those nice new helmet molds, and I think the snub-nosed speeder looks pretty decent, and I like that it comes with a secondary build that has a little turret. Usually battle packs just have one singular build. This looks pretty complete. And the other Star Wars reveals were the 4 microfighter sets. We're going to get a U-Wing microfighter. I believe that is an exclusive pilot minifig. We've also got a TIE Striker microfighter, as well as the Y-Wing microfighter, which is pretty cool, and also Krennic's Imperial Shuttle. I think all the builds for the microfighters look decent, the TIE Striker being somewhat my least favorite. I just don't think the shape of that ship translates well to this sort of chibi style. But all in all, I'm really excited for the next wave of Star Wars stuff. Now let's move on to another big title. Disney had a pretty big reveal for winter, and appropriately it is Elsa's castle from Frozen. I could have sworn there was a rumor about this a very long time ago, but I'd all but forgotten about it until BrickSet revealed some pictures just yesterday. It's a pretty decent build for the actual castle itself. You can't see the stairs yet from behind, so I don't know what the interior looks like, but we do get that frozen giant sort of monster thing. Olaf is in this set, and there are a lot of trans blue pieces, mostly in those slope shapes, but I have a feeling a lot of Disney fans are going to be very happy about this one. And I swear I can't go a week without mentioning something about Batman, but these are some more of the official set images revealed by Brick Heroes. Some of these sets I've already talked about in other news episodes. I'm only going to focus on the new stuff that came out for this week. So this is the Catwoman Cat Cycle Chase. We have a clear image now that she is going to be a all purple minifig, just about. Great looking mold for the cat ears on the headpiece, and we also get another Robin and Batwoman. There's a tiny jewel store build, and she comes with her motorcycle. I do like that they designed the fork to be angled down a little bit by the front wheel. I really thought that was a mistake when they didn't do that for Ghost Rider's bike. The next reveal is the Riddler Riddle Racer 70903. Wonderful, awesome, cool looking build for this car. We're getting some shapes there that we rarely see from a vehicle. I think it looks great. It might be extremely big. I know that the Notorious Lowrider set was huge. I just finished building that one. But we also get some great looking minifigs here. We've got Calendar Man, Kite Man, of course the Riddler, and Magpie. Interesting choice. Cool looking set though. I think this definitely beats the Riddler's last build for a vehicle. And this next set shows off probably one of the best looking Lego built figures I've seen in a while. This is Clayface Splat Attack 70904. The body build just looks good. I mean, it really does fit with this kind of sandy, rocky creature. The face is very, very expressive, which I think is really important. And the 6-shot stud shooters fit very well with the character. He also has an alternate build where you can attach a big hammer build. And there's that other little alternate ground piece. I think that might be an attachment print for his body as well. I'm not really sure. The exclusive minifigure here is Mayor McCaskill, and the last of the new reveals for this week in the Batman movie series is Killer Croc Tailgater 70907. Great build for the vehicle. It is massive. It's honestly the size of what would be a monster truck. You can see it's kind of been ragtag put together. There's a lot of rust, and the whole back bed has just been kind of built on very sloppily. But the big fig for Killer Croc is very unique. I like that they kind of kept the old crocodile Lego face on the figure, or at least a shape that looks similar to what we got with the old crocodiles. And I think that was a very clever design to have the stick shift gigantic sticking out the back so Killer Croc could kind of shift gears. We also get the most ridiculous Batman vehicle, I think to date. This is the, I don't know what you call it, the Bat Jet Ski, the Bat Ski? They'll have a weird name for it, I'm sure. And our exclusive minifigs for the set are going to be Tarantula and Zebra Man. In the link description below, you're going to see the official images for quite a few other Batman sets that I have mentioned in other videos, but let's move on to the official Ninjago images. I can say that when we're looking at all the sets in general right now, there's definitely a swamp theme to this wave. The enemies are all kind of swamp creatures that are based on sort of Medusa. There's a bunch of snakes and Medusa-esque looking bad guys, some of which I think actually look really cool. They seem almost like an extension of the first wave of Ninjago bad guys, sort of demon-like. But anyways, let's just look at the set. This is the biggest one, Dragon Forge 70627. There's a big old play area that seems to be able to fold into an actual enclosed forge structure, which looks pretty awesome from the outside. We've got a big two-headed dragon. Looks like it's going to be both fire and ice on either head, and just a ton of bad guys and weapons. You see all those weapons assorted at the bottom, and a Lego-built sort of half-snake figure. This next set, Dawn of Iron Doom, has a much larger version of a Lego-built sort of half-snake figure, and I think this guy actually looks pretty good in terms of a build. He looks pretty intimidating. There's a very small, I guess, defense structure. It looks like a very tiny little tower. Lots of minifigs included in this set as well, plus a ton of red snakes. You're going to see that a lot. The next is Samurai VXL. This gigantic 4x4 vehicle looks like a very solid build, a bit sleek, and I think there's quite a lot of nice suspension under the frame there, so you can do a lot of fun sort of leaning turns. This is probably the best vehicle from this wave, and there's some cool minifigs as well. Now with the enemies in Vermilion Invader, this is the bad guy vehicle. An ambitious design for sure. I do like the look of this sort of single tread kind of motorcycle vehicle, but something tells me it's not going to be quite as easy to sort of maneuver around as an actual playset. Those spikes in the front are going to be gouging a carpeted floor, and I feel like there's going to be a lot of starts and stops when you're playing around with this, at least when you're a kid. Cool bad guys though. The armor really does look good for these minifigs. Here is Destiny's Shadow, some kind of odd looking evil sea creature. Not really sure if I like the build for those canoe pieces that are facing inwards. It looks a little bit strange, but this is by far the most unique looking build in the entire wave. And then we get a couple of small builds. This is Desert Lightning. I think this is going to be a pretty popular set. These are kind of two smaller versions of the vehicles that we saw before, except one has been inverted into a motorcycle. And then this is the very small set called the Vermilion Attack. Looks like there's an egg build that we've actually seen kind of in some of the other sets I haven't bothered to mention. They seem to be full of snakes, but this will probably be a very easy and cheap way to get some really awesome looking bad guy minifigs. Next up, there were a few more creator official images revealed by Hoth Bricks. This first one is Beachside Vacation. A bit too much blue for me in this build, and I feel like they could have just extended a little bit of the ocean or the beach around it in one direction or another. I do like the build for the sea turtle, but this next one, the Park Street Townhouse, is definitely going in the Lego City. I really like the front build for this. It's almost like a New York kind of build. I don't really know how to describe this, but we've got some fire escapes on the side, some lamp posts that look great, a bench, and just a lot of really nice little details in here. I'm definitely looking forward to getting this set. Coming from Brick Set, there are some official images of Elves sets as well. This is Magic Rescue from Goblin Village. I don't know much about the Elves theme. There seems to be a lot of stuff going on here though. I think those are new Goblin minifigs. They kind of remind me of those troll dolls from back in the day. This is Aria's airship and the hunt for the amulet. It's almost a different color design from a similar looking Ninjago build we got from a season or two ago. And of course, the N Goblin King's Evil Dragon. We get another dragon build. And moving down in the size, this is the capture of Sophie Jones. Kind of do like the look of that little structure in the back. And for the smallest set coming out for the Elves side, this is Nadia's Gondola and the Goblin Thief. So there it is for Elves, and the last thing that was revealed this week was the Junior sets. One thing that I really like about the Junior sets here is this Batman vs. Mr. Freeze set. We get a brand new Mr. Freeze. He's totally different from anything else that we got before. I think he looks great, and what is also a little bit revealing is Batman does not have his Bat utility belt piece on the actual minifigure. It is printed on like the old Batman figs, and this makes me think that perhaps the DC comic book superheroes line is still going to follow suit with just the printed on belt. Anyways, if you want to check out the rest of the Junior sets, I will leave links in the video description below. I believe they came from Hoth Bricks. Now that is it for all of the reveals, but there were other things that did happen this week. I might have mentioned in a previous episode about this Leicester Minifig that's going to be extremely rare, and now we know just how rare he's going to be. There's only 275 of these guys, and you can only get them by paying a £55 fee for the chance of getting them, because you get a scratch card that may or may not have the minifig. So unfortunately, this guy has all of the makings to create an extremely rare collectible. The other day I made a sort of mental note: if he goes over a certain price, then I won't buy him. And according to this article from Brickset, he is selling currently for, well, 10 times more than any amount I made up in my head. So we're not getting this guy at BrickVault, but this minifigure may very well end up being one of the most expensive in LEGO history. Now for the last LEGO news article in this episode, it is a bit different from what we normally talk about, but an interesting turn of events happened. LEGO ended their advertising with the Daily Mail. This was in response due to a campaign that did not want companies to fund newspapers or information outlets that thrived on producing articles that generally separated people and promoted sort of hate and were antagonistic. Anyway, LEGO as a toy company rarely makes any sort of political statements, but they were the first to end their advertising deal with the Daily Mail in response to this. All right, and with that, I think it's finally time to move on to LEGO Ideas. If you don't know what LEGO Ideas is, it's a website in which you submit your own LEGO creation in hopes to having it become an official LEGO set. Now this week, no new sets got 10,000 votes, which means no new sets are now in the review stage. And normally when I promote a sort of random set that I like, I try to avoid what is on the trending now page from LEGO Ideas, but I could not help myself this week. This is the Ship in a Bottle Flagship Leviathan by Jake Sandovich 77. Everything about this build is just awesome. It's a very original idea. At least I've never seen it in LEGO before. And not only does the ship look excellent and the stand for the ship look excellent, but the builder really managed to put together a convincing looking bottle shape at a larger scale, which is not easy to do if you want it to be sort of an effective, transparent piece. Anyways, I think it's a great looking build, and I certainly hope it passes for Ideas. All right, that is it for this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Remember to tune in same time next week. And once again, because this episode was so long with all of this extra stuff, I haven't had any custom creations added to the end of the segment here, but you can check the link in the video description below if you want to see some cool stuff that people have been building and putting on their flickers throughout the week. And once again, thanks a lot for watching. If you enjoy our content, you can always like or subscribe, do what you want to do, and we'll see you next time at BrickVault.